Aquarius, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, this is an energy reading, so please take it where and how it resonates in your life. This is your message. And if you're not an Aquarius, but this message found you, it is 100% yours. It's especially yours, because this message only finds the people who need to hear it, and at just the right time. And my friends, this is where your message begins. There's just a beautiful cup of love that's coming your way. Now let's discuss singularly. Now there's lots of times when there's a bunch of cards that fall out. There's only one card that fell out this time. So God wants to bring very clear attention to being offered a cup of love or getting ready for it. Sometime this week, probably toward the end, that there's just this energy of here, I care, I love you. This beautiful demonstration of grace and kindness and compassion. A lot of times it is a new offering of love, or it's a connection, or it's getting married. You could be getting married this week. How interesting to be getting married. I wouldn't recommend a marriage on a lunar eclipse. I would not. I would not recommend a marriage on a solar eclipse. Over these next 2 weeks, I would not recommend getting married at that time. But there is a beautiful energy of the love that is coming into existence, right? So beautiful energy. Now we're going to get into how or why. How or why is this energy coming? Please explain a little bit more, God, about the Ace of Cups. Like, okay, we got to get this deck. Certain decks like to talk to me at certain times. So what? You can't make this shit up. That just spilled out. That just spilled out. So Ace of Cups. This is the story behind it. Somebody has held on very tight. They were very reluctant to move. This was a very stubborn person, probably in Aries, or somebody who's militant, ex-military, or somebody who's older than you, patriarchal, holding on to this idea of control. And that's why they needed a different perspective, or things have been held up for so long. Somebody has wanted to stay in control, or it's been very difficult. You've been dealing with difficult authority figures, trying to like deal with craziness with regards to law, or somebody who's hyper independent. And ultimately, the Hanged Man means that somebody had to learn to see things from a different point of view, or that things were stuck. The sense of somebody needed to learn to relinquish control and allow themselves to open up and feel. And this, to me, these cards all together, or these cards explaining this card, reminds me of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. It reminds me of that scene where his heart grows how many times in one day, that there was just all of a sudden, it's like he could hear the music that he never heard before. All of a sudden there was a love in his heart, because he's been so stubborn and so controlled and so isolated, and for so long, you know, just hyper independence. There's a lot here with hyper independent energy. I just saw 333 when I looked at the clock. There's a lot here about hyper independent energy. I don't know what else to say, but it's beautiful energy. It's just, there's hyper independence here. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands. This is somebody who gets a lot of attention. You could be dealing with a Leo, Capricorn, or Sagittarius, fire sign, Aries. Big time energy is pulling in. Somebody who's very confident and competent. Somebody who shares their confidence or has a lot of magnetism. They attract a lot of people. They sort of radiate charisma here. Yeah, and maybe in some ways they control people with their charisma. But there's so much beauty here. There's so much attractiveness here and power. There's power because there's confidence. It's not necessarily like greedy power. It's a good kind of power. It's like there's so much confidence here in yourself, and that's producing a lot of opportunities. It's producing like a golden, valuable product. This sense of, oh my God, take my money, take my money, take my value, lots of optimism, lots of good stuff, people paying you, or it's almost like a lot of notoriety is now on you, and you're going to be receiving a lot of income or productivity or just possibility and potential. I need more words, God, help me. Okay, now we have the devil here. So there's restriction, and there's anger, and there's suffering, and there's fear, or there's lots of debt. There's a lot of being held back, or a lot of rules or obligations that were holding you back, or toxicity, maybe your own fear. The devil comes from within, so it could very well be your own fear, or getting attached to things being so good. It's almost like God's kind of trying to send you a warning. Things are so good, don't get addicted to the toxicity. Things are so good that this could be addictive, that you could get stuck in wanting it and needing it and identifying yourself as it, and that's not what God wants. God wants you just to remain in your gratitude. So watch this devil energy. Can you please clarify the devil energy coming at Aquarius? Like, why is this coming into their reading? Saturn is very active this week. It's part of the full moon that's coming on the 13th, 14th. Explain Saturn, explain the devil energy, please. The explanation we get is the Four of Cups, which means somebody wasn't willing to see love. Somebody wasn't capable of seeing love, or somebody was undecided because they're treating things that are equal that are not. This is the Cup of Love. This is the Ace of Cups that's being offered. This is a special offer, but somebody's looking at it like it's mundane because they're seeing, like, it's almost like somebody feels like they have to review everything. Don't review everything. Review with your heart. Like, let yourself be open and vulnerable. Let yourself see, because you'll see how very special this opportunity is. There's still some contemplation somebody needs to do here, but I almost think it's out of stubbornness and lack of wanting to make a choice. The Cup of Love is there. There's something special that's just been offered to you, but I feel like, I don't know. Let's get a moon card. Let's get a moon card for Aquarius, because we have that beautiful full moon eclipse coming up. Don't let pride get in your way. Sometimes pride comes in the form of propriety. Sometimes, oh, I have to be special. I have to be more special than other people. I am going to do it the right way. And that's what that Saturnian energy is. You must do it one way. This is the only way that it can be done. And maybe you're dealing with somebody with this energy, or this energy is possessing you. That's the warning. Don't let pride get in your way. Don't let pride keep you from doing and seeing, enjoying and accepting and receiving love. Pride will say to you, you're not good enough. Pride will say to you, you're not doing enough. You have to do more. And if you let it get in your way, you will miss all the abundance that life is trying to offer you now. So release that energy. Release that feeling of, I have to be seen. I have to be in control. I have to be the best in the room. You don't have to be anything but you. You're hardworking. You're dedicated. Don't get addicted to a spotlight this week. That's just coming across as a warning, but hold on. God, what do you want me to say? For some reason, he wants me to take this deck now, because the deck has something to say. Inner Temple. Devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Tune into the portal of your heart. Tune into the portal of your heart. You're being called, my God, you're being called to open up your heart right now, because God wants to help you circumnavigate the perhaps more easy, slippery slope that you are kind of being tempted toward, which is to get stuck in your own pride and your own kind of, to get stuck in your own grandiosity, right? It's not that you shouldn't be able to enjoy what you've earned at all. It's don't get a big head about it. It's turn inward, or maybe you're dealing with somebody. It's just saying, please get in touch with your heart. There's some answers there that God needs you to hear and listen to. It's not external now. It is really a quiet thing that is happening and sending out radiant vibrations of balance and health and abundance. It's something that's internal. It's like you already know it, but you've got to quiet the outside to hear and listen to what it's saying. So hold on. That just came out. Hold on. Remember, guys, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel right now and ring that notification bell. Remember to select all notifications so that you know when I upload your favorite content, as well that you'll get notified when I go live, because this is the only place I do live public tarot and free public tarot card readings. So if you want to be notified, please remember to turn on your notifications. And then if you're looking for a personal reading, I do provide those. Please click my website below. It's in the description box. It's also on the front header of the channel. It says website. Just click that. That's the only place you can book and schedule an appointment with me, but you can. I do provide personal readings. So hold on. We have clean it up. There's some sort of mess. There's some sort of messiness. There's something that got murky or dirty. I don't know why. Why? Clean it up. Why? Because it's time. These cards are so talkative, but like productively talkative. Like they're lining up actual sentences. So it says, clean it up. Why? Because it's time to go. You're moving. Whether it's metaphoric or not, it's like scrub that shit down. It's like if you've ever rented an apartment, it's that it's that move out clean. God wants you to prepare to get going, but you can't leave this shit a mess. So it's almost like clean it up now. If something has gotten in the way, if pride's getting in your way, or you bought too much stuff, if you've overindulged, God is telling you, go to your closets now. Take all that crap out. Give it away. You must declutter. You've got too much shit, because it's time to go. And she ain't carrying nothing with her. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be light on your feet. There's wings here. There's lots of feathers. It's like you have to unburden your heart. Feathers are, if you ever see the Libra scale, there's a feather on one side and a heart on the other. And I think it was Egyptian tradition. If you weighed the heart and you put a feather in after somebody died, if the heart was as light as a feather, you were pure and you got to go to heaven. It's not saying that you're going to die, but it's saying that this is a weigh-in time, that there's a lot on your chest, or there's a lot of heaviness, that something has built up, and it's time to unburden yourself. And a way to help unburden yourself is actually to get rid of if there's clothing that reminds you of somebody, if there is items in your house, get rid of the physical stuff. You can affect your spirituality by clearing out the clutter of the spiritual, clearing out the clutter of the 3D world, because energy attaches to those things. So it could be bogging you down. It will help get the energy flowing so you could release the emotional stuff. That's why it's time to clean this stuff up. It's time to not get dirty or gross or whatever. There's been meanness or anger. It's time to clean that shit up, because it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. And you have to do so with not an empty heart, with an open heart, with a light heart. A light heart is the only thing that's going to get you moving in the direction that you need to go. We need to get angel messages. For Aquarius, can you please let me know, God? Just let me know. Can you just let me know? Progress, not perfection. Don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and all that you've learned. Focus upon how far you've come and all that you've learned. That's a way to adjust your brain, because right now it's a little bit, did I win? Who won? You need to clear that shit up, because that's weighing your heart down, and it's making you less than what you can truly be, right? So it's like progress, not perfection. Don't compare yourself to others. It's not about the tit for tat or judge yourself. Don't get angry. Just be compassionate for the other person. Be compassionate for yourself. 10 to 1, if you're being really, really hard on somebody else, it's because you're not compassionate to yourself either. Because we're always hardest on ourselves. So there's some sort of anger. That anger, may, even though it's reflected outward, there's also anger at the self. So if you start, once again, you clean up your shit on the inside, then there's this beautiful capacity to be okay on the outside. So cleaning that up, cleaning those feelings of anger and upset, prosperity, there's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. There's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. It's so, my God, it's like catch the train, catch the boat. Don't bog yourself down. You're going to have to go. You're going to have to go. And I feel like if you let yourself be bogged down, it's like, get away from this, right? It's time to move forward. There's so much to move forward. Aquarius, God hasn't taken away any of your opportunities. They're all still here. That's why he's saying pack light. Right now, it's happy birthday, Danny. Right now, it seems like there's a distraction going on, and it's going to be released around that full moon, because there's a lot of anger there. There's a lot of these subconscious things coming to the surface. There's a lot of that. So it's almost like, oh, what was I going to say? It's almost like you got distracted somehow, and you're at risk of that slippery slope, like I said, of falling backward. You're at risk of getting it taken away from you, what you've earned, or at least some of it, losing it, because you won't let go of this competition. Part of it has to do with, oh, look, I got one up on you. Oh, look, I won. And that's the kind of trash shit God needs you to get rid of now, because he needs you to be better than that, or somebody that you're dealing with. I'm just letting you know. Let's go to the extended. I'll see you guys there.